In a very short while, 5 motorcycles from the Italian brand Benelli will go on sale in India. And the most accessible motorcycle of that range is going to be this, the TNT300. Now don't get confused, yes, the TNT name was used by Benelli only for their 3-cylinder naked motorcycles, and this was known as the BN302. But for India, DSK Motor Wheels has chosen to apply the TNT name for the entire range that's coming here. So, we're going to get to know this motorcycle a little bit better and see how explosive it really is. The first realization isn't all that explosive, but it is important. And the realization is that the TNT300 looks better in the flesh. Yes, from the front, the stance seems a bit tall, but the headlamp looks smart, with the transformer-like design gene popping through. The 16-liter fuel tank looks muscular, and in the black color, it contrasts nicely with the red trellis frame. The tail section does look a bit bulky, and the LED stop lamp design is also a bit unflattering. However, the LED turn indicators look really cool. When it comes to design or features, the instrument cluster is nothing fancy, but the simple design looks clean and is easy to read. The switches work well and the grips feel nice and soft. There are also plenty of nice details, like this flip key and the red stitching for the single-piece seat. There has been some concern regarding Benelli motorcycles because some of them are being sourced from China as kits and then being assembled here in India. But from what I can see of the TNT300, it isn't a cheap or flimsy motorcycle. Yes, there are some areas where the fit and finish could be better, but nothing that'll put you off. In fact, in the city, I guarantee it, this motorcycle is going to be a huge turn-on for a lot of people. And that's because of the way it sounds. Is that a twin-cylinder motorcycle? Bass and volume suggest a fast and powerful 4-cylinder engine. But more importantly for the rider, this parallel twin-cylinder engine will feel very much at ease in the city. There is adequate torque at 2 to 4000 RPM, which is then multiplied by the tightly stacked gearbox. As a result, you can crawl around at low RPM. And then when you open the throttle, the TNT will trot forward smartly. Slipping through traffic is made even easier, as the range of steering movement is pretty wide. At 795mm, the seat height won't feel too tall either. And the icing on the cake is the pliant suspension, which is more than happy to soak up bumpy roads as well. In the city, whether it was the engine, the ride quality or the way it handled, the TNT300 felt like a pleasingly relaxed motorcycle to ride, and it seemed to have a lot more in store. It made me think, could this be a good tourer as well? Well, to get to our shoot location here, we really had to ride a long distance and go over a variety of surfaces. A perfect way to see how the TNT300 would fare as a tourer. The B roads, that's where the best places are. And that's also where the going gets rough. But the pliant setup of the upside-down front forks and the rear monoshock kept the harshness of the bumps and the potholes at bay. The TNT300's plush single-piece seat was a welcome luxury. The roomy and upright seating position made the going even more enjoyable. On the smoothest stretches of tarmac, the 300cc short-stroke engine was ever ready to charge through the rev range and blast ahead. You'll find that it's only when you're in a tearing hurry that you need to work the 6-speed gearbox hard. With a highway fuel efficiency of 29.3 kilometers per litre, the TNT300 has a healthy range between fill-ups. However, for me, the loud exhaust did get a bit tiring as the kilometers wore on. Now this is a pretty good companion for a long ride, but what would make it even better would be taller gearing, because that would make the engine feel more relaxed at triple-digit speeds. But what is the TNT300 like when you're in the mood to get some adrenaline in your veins? First, the gearing. Sure, it may not be just right for touring, but it is perfect for the city and sport beauties. It adds a spring to the TNT step as you get down to business. The engine revs beautifully. It is frantic and powerful as it hits the near 12,000 RPM red line in one clean sweep. As a result, the TNT300 will hit 60 from standstill in 3.4 seconds, and 100 comes up in 8.38 seconds. It will then carry on to a top speed of 152 km an hour. This isn't as quick as a Ninja 300, but it is quicker than the Kawasaki Z250. Rolling on and off the gas on the TNT is smooth. Although, when you want to charge out of corners, you will have to keep the engine humming. But there was one issue. In right-handers, the TNT would scrape its exhaust shield over light bumps on the tarmac. Straight out of the box, our test bike suspension setup felt just a bit too soft. So we had to up the preload at the rear, stiffer damping would be better, and when you get the settings right, you'll find that the TNT300 handles a lot like its elder sibling, the TNT899. And that is a very good thing. That is high praise. That's because the 300 turns smoothly into corners and it feels incredibly fluid through them. The grip from the Pirelli Angel tires gives you the confidence to push harder and harder still, but the unresolved suspension setup kept us from going completely bonkers. At 185 kilos, this is one of the heavier motorcycles in its space. On the upside, you can feel only some of the weight, which never overwhelms you. But you never need to worry about it when slowing down, because the 260mm dual pedal disc brakes are sharp and responsive. However, the lack of ABS in any modern motorcycle is quite disappointing. So where does Benelli's TNT300 fit in? Well, in some ways it can be compared to Suzuki's Inazuma because of that sheer sense of relaxed commuting that it offers. But it betters the Inazuma by a huge margin by being a lot more exciting to ride when it catches your fancy. Sure, it doesn't have the same level of finesse or punch as Kawasaki's Ninja 300, and it isn't as sharp in terms of handling as the Z250. But at the same time, it's really not going to be bothered too much by that because of the sheer complement of abilities that it offers, and we expect DSK Motor Wheels to launch this at a really aggressive price tag, anything around the 2.5 lakh rupee mark, and this is going to be a really sweet package.